সবাইকে স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি একাত্তরের বিশেষ আয়োজনে। আজ আমরা কথা বলবো ঢাকা ওয়াশিংটন সম্পর্ক নিয়ে এবং আমাদের সাথে আলোচনার জন্য আমাদের স্টুডিওতে উপস্থিত আছেন ঢাকায় মার্কিন দূতাবাসের পাবলিক অ্যাফেয়ার্স কাউন্সিলর স্টিভেন ইবেলে। Hello, welcome to Ekattor.
Thank you, Afsana, very, very much. Ramadan Mubarak.
Same to you.
Thank
Assalamu
you.
alaikum wa alaikum assalam.
Kemun achan?
Oh, that's great. I'm very well. How are you doing?
Very good, very good.
I would like to know that how does the United States perceive Bangladesh's development trajectory, particularly acknowledging its remarkable transformation from the aftermath of the liberation war to emerging as a leading digital nation within span of 52 years?
Thanks, Afsana. That's a really, really great question, and it's something that we work on every day at the U.S. Embassy. We are very invested in the future of Bangladesh, but we've also been very invested in the past. Many people don't know that our relationship started in 1792. Our first president, George Washington, actually nominated the envoy to at what that time was the Bengal presidency. So our relation really goes back to the birth not only of your country, but also the birth of our country. And that's a really great shared value. We have been invested in Bangladesh's trajectory since the beginning. For 53 years. And it really, from all of us at the U.S. Embassy, happy birthday, Bangladesh. Happy 53rd birthday. Because we really work on this. We really work on the relationship. And so we've been there from the beginning. We were there in the middle. We'll be there at the end. And I think it's a real testament to the relationship, the people-to-people ties between the two countries and all of the different sectors that we work in. It's a really amazing story. Bangladesh has an amazing story. The fact that it's graduating now from sort of the least development status in 2026, and we feel that we've played a large part in that with all of the development, all of the assistance that we've really partnered with Bangladesh on, because that is the model that the United States really uses. It's partnership. We're partners with countries. We partner on making things better for the people of that country. After all, it is always at the end of the day about the welfare of the people.
You have said that your relationship, the United States relationship with Bangladesh began before the birth of both the countries. How did Bangladesh and the United States collaborated in rebuilding Bangladesh immediately after the liberation war in 1971?
Well, I think right after the recognition on April 4th, 1972, that's when the U.S. recognized Bangladesh, there was an immediate pledge for $300 million. Also culturally, I think in the United States, if you look at musicians like Bob Dylan, Joan Baez, they were singing for the people of Bangladesh. So there was a huge outpouring of empathy, of sympathy for the plight of Bangladesh. The government, as I said, the United States government pledged, $300 million. Ted Kennedy, of course, gave his iconic speech at Dhaka University about that. And he really, as a senator, single-handedly went around Bangladesh and really informed the world about sort of the situation in Bangladesh. And not only that, but we also helped fund and really support the refugees that were in India at the time as well. So it goes back all the way there. And it starts there. But it doesn't end there. That is just the beginning. And so if you look at then and now, you have about $8 billion in between that's been invested in many, many different sectors with Bangladesh to help the country grow, to help the people develop, and to really help that relationship. And so you've seen that relationship grow, especially in the 90s when Bangladesh adopted these free market economy and liberalized its economy. And so it really started to grow. And now, you look now in 2024 on the 53rd anniversary of the country, and you just see incredible growth.
Could you shed light on specific development projects or initiatives by United States and Bangladesh that have significantly influenced our journey towards sovereignty?
No, absolutely. If you look at electricity, I think that is, one of the biggest achievements. The United States Agency for Aid in Development, or AID as we call it, had a rural electrification project from 1977 to 2000. What does that mean? It meant that it brought electricity literally to millions of people. 48 million people were able to get electricity. And so at the end, in 2022, it was actually connected all to the grid. And so the United States, again, partnered with Bangladesh to be able to bring electricity throughout the whole country. This is very enviable. Many countries struggle with power issues, with electricity issues, with energy security. And so it's a really wonderful story. Healthcare and the health industry is really another real shining spot where maternal deaths have plummeted since 2000. They've plummeted 70%. With a lot of expertise. We have a lot of expertise at the embassy that work from all kinds of aspects, whether it's dengue, whether it's cholera or other diseases that affect children. Right now we're beginning a big survey of lead and how lead affects children. This is going to be a nationwide study of lead levels in children. And from this study, we'll be able to really target areas that need support for helping sort of the children grow. Lead is a really big issue around the world. It's a priority for the embassy, and certainly it's a priority for Bangladesh, and we're really proud, to partner on that. So whether it's health or whether it's the economy, if you look at the energy sector, for example, U.S. firms are providing over 50% of gas to Bangladesh to help with its energy security, because we understand, of course, that a country needs power, it needs electricity to be able to develop. These are basic building blocks for that development. We also provide a huge amount of technical assistance, whether that is in helping with regulations or helping with transparency or improving the business environment. Of course, we'd like to see more American companies come to Bangladesh. And so we'd like to see the business environment improve, transparency to improve, corruption to decrease. These are all things that can hold a country back from its full potential and development. And so we work on all of those issues every day.
Can you discuss more about the partnership between Bangladesh and the United States to tackle with the global challenges, especially about climate change and public health crisis?
Absolutely. No, and those are really, really important things, because Bangladesh especially is, I think, the seventh most vulnerable country to climate change, and so we're very acutely aware of that, and we have a great partnership with some of the ministries here. We really work on, with regard to climate change, we focus on youth, and so we have a number of youth organizations that are training Earth champions. Okay. We've opened up these kind of climate change awareness kind of departments within universities, where the Earth champions can talk to the students, to really talk to the future generation, the coming generation, about these issues. And at present, for example, we work with farmers to make sure that they can adapt to these changing conditions. The soil, in some areas of Bangladesh, the soil is becoming a little bit more full of salt. And so we've developed seeds, for example, that are resistant to these saline soils, and that really helps farmers grow. We have some of the biggest projects in the world in Bangladesh.
How do both countries work together to improve crucial sectors like education, especially, and healthcare, that positively influence in Bangladeshis' lives?
No, absolutely. We have representatives from the Centers for Disease Control, for example, that are here that work on dengue. They're actually at the ICDDRB. We really, in the healthcare system, that's one example. Our foreign commercial service really helps not only American business set up businesses here, but Bangladeshis export to the United States as well. There's tremendous potential. We do a lot of skills training. We work also in the schools, in the secondary schools, for example, promoting all kinds of different programs. And if you're talking about education, of course, you have to think about the Fulbright program. The Fulbright program has been around since the 50s. Actually, one of the first Fulbrighters, which is a professional exchange program where we send folks to the United States, one of the first Fulbright, or one of the first person that did this professional exchange was actually Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, who went in 1952 on a program called the International Visitor Leadership Program, because he was seen as a leader, even at that time. And so we're really, really proud of that we've had generations almost now of Bangladeshis that we've sent to the United States. We send over 100 people a year to the United States for all kinds of different things, whether it's journalism, whether it's health, whether it's climate change. We send people on all of these different programs. And that is really, really important because it establishes these people-to-people ties. There are many aspects in Bangladesh where we can partner, like we discussed, like climate change, like energy, like investment, like development.
Previously, the diversity visa lottery system was there, but now a growing number of Bangladeshi students studying in the U.S., as well as skilled individuals from the United States, they are contributing in our development projects.
Yes.
And how can both countries collaborate to develop more effective policies for skilled manpower immigration? What do you think?
Yeah, it's been amazing growth with students. Over the last 10 years, the number of Bangladeshi students studying in the United States has tripled, over 300%. Even just last year, from last year to this year, or 2022 to 2023, the number of students studying in the United States increased by 28%, almost 30%. So we're seeing this year-on-year growth. That is not a mistake. It is because the United States offers a world-class education. World-class, folks, world-class. And there are over 4,000 American universities. So there's lots of choice. You want to go to a big city. You want to go to a small town. You want to go to a big school. You want to go to a small school. And you can find your discipline. I don't care what your discipline is. If it's underwater archaeology, there's a program for it, and a very good program, a world-renowned program, probably. And so that's why I think we've seen this growth. We also work very, very hard at this. We have what we call Education USA, advising centers. And so we advise students. Students come to us and say, I want to study in the United States, but I don't know where to start. And we help them start. Go to Education USA. We have 3 places you can find out. We have at our American Center, which is actually at our annex or our embassy in Baridara. We have the EMK, which is named after Edward M. Kennedy, in Gulshan. It's right on Gulshan Avenue. We do education advising there. We have a beautiful center there where you can find out. And we also have one in Chattogram. So we have an American space, or what we call American Corner, in Chattogram, where you can also find out about studying. And I think that's why we've seen that growth. Also, when you go to an American university, it's not just about academics. An American university is like a community. You become part of a community. You can also be very free about how you express yourself. You debate issues, but it's all respectful. It's very respectful, and you meet people that have very different views than you, but somehow you're able to exchange those views in a respectful way. And so I think that's the really wonderful part of that, because these experiences are life-changing. you asked about diversity visas as well, and so it's actually a testament that there are over 300,000 Bangladeshi Americans. Some of them doing very well. Many of them doing very well, by the way. There was a photographer, a very famous actually Bangladeshi photographer, who was the photographer at the Oscars. When you see lots of Bangladeshis doing amazing things, the reason why that Bangladesh does not qualify right now for the diversity visa is because they've had over 50,000 people emigrate to the United States. However, this shows that there is a lot of immigration going on. It's mostly family-based immigration, and so those are sort of the rules behind the diversity visa. But we're seeing that robust movement, whether it's, as I said, the Fulbright program, or the International Visitor Leadership Program, or students going to the United States to study, or people going also to for tourism. We often say that the best advertisement for America is America. Because we want people to see, and we want people to see everything. And I think that's the openness of America, the diversity of the United States, I think is a real pride factor for us. And that openness and your ability to be able to express yourself, to travel freely, to say things, and have debates, respectful, of course, debates and so on. And so I think that's the real draw and real attraction of the United States.
Wonderful discussion we had.
Thank you so much.
And you talked great, actually.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, you have to invite me back. We can talk more.
Of course,
and we invite you to also come and check out our Education USA
office. Of course, I'll go. I'm really interested to go and visit your place.
You would be our honored guest. We would be honored.
Thank you. আমরা কথা বলছিলাম বাংলাদেশে মার্কিন দূতাবাসের পাবলিক অ্যাফেয়ার্স কাউন্সিলর স্টিভেন ই বেলির সঙ্গে, এবং তিনি অনেকগুলো বিষয় নিয়ে মূলত আমাদের সঙ্গে কথা বললেন। আমাদের গার্মেন্ট ইন্ডাস্ট্রিতে বাংলাদেশ এবং যুক্তরাষ্ট্রের যে সম্পর্ক সেই বিষয়ে কথা বললেন, বাংলাদেশের উন্নয়নে যুক্তরাষ্ট্রের যে অবদান সেটি নিয়ে কথা বললেন, বাংলাদেশের শিক্ষার্থীরা যারা যুক্তরাষ্ট্রে পড়াশোনা করতে যাচ্ছেন তারা আরও কিভাবে যুক্তরাষ্ট্রের কাছ থেকে সাহায্য পেতে পারেন সেই বিষয়গুলো নিয়ে তিনি আমাদের সঙ্গে কথা বললেন। দারুণ একটা আলোচনা তার সঙ্গে আমাদের হলো। নিশ্চয়ই আপনারা সবাই আমাদের এই আলোচনা শুনেছেন দর্শক। এমন আরও অনেক আলোচনা নিশ্চয়ই ভবিষ্যতে আমাদের সাথে যুক্তরাষ্ট্রের বাংলাদেশে মার্কিন দূতাবাসের কর্মকর্তাদের সঙ্গে আলাপ হবে। সবাইকে দেখার আমন্ত্রণ জানিয়ে আজকের মতো বিদায় নিচ্ছি। অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ আমাদের সাথে যুক্ত